Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my Loverlies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is New Makeup Monday, which means we get to finally play with some new makeup we acquired from last week. I have been waiting to sink my brushes into this little mini Norvina palette. Guys, it did not disappoint. We're gonna do this eye look today. Look how pretty it is. I wanted to go for something funky, a shape that I haven't necessarily done before. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm just kind of in love with the colors as well. I have got to say that this surprised me. I dipped my brush into this really gorgeous pistachio pastel green, and it blew me out of the water. I am so excited to share this palette with you guys today. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to show you how I did this eye. We're also going to be playing with this today. This is the NYX Epic Smoke Liner. So I have this on my lower lash line. It's new. I've never used it before. I figured the color would go with the eye look. It's an eyeliner. We're gonna get to it when we get to it. Yeah. We're gonna use the e.l.f. Puff Puff Primer. This isn't necessarily new, but I don't really think that I've highlighted this in a video on my channel before. This is an amazing primer. It's hydrating and smoothing and tacky, and it does everything. It does everything in such a beautifully like hydrating, fast absorbing, non-greasy kind of way. It is fantastic. So we're going to use this today. I have some serious dark circles going on today. Guys, I have been having the absolute worst dreams here recently. I cannot. I don't know why. I don't know where they're coming from. My id is trying to torture me, I guess. But I got some serious dark circles going on. You can't see them at the moment. Maybe you can. I got bags and dark circles. We're gonna try out this color corrector though. This is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Correcting Concealer. I have two different shades. I have peach and I have orange, I believe. What shade are you? Yeah, this is peach and this is orange. Yeah, so peach and orange. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. Probably use the peach one because they don't look as terrible on camera as they do in real life, but I'm excited to test these out. And also, if we have time, I want to try to use the Believe Beauty foundation. Now, I've heard so many people have so many very wonderful things to say about this foundation, so I kind of want to use it. It says it's a skin finish foundation. Everybody says it's good. It's got like a solid medium coverage, which is I'm all about. I have mine in the shade Porcelain. I don't know, it looks like it might be a bit yellow for me, but most foundations are, so that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dive right into the eye look. I'm gonna put my hair back. I had to wet my hair down. It has been so incredibly frizzy. I don't even know what to do with it. It gets frizzy and then it gets tangly and it feels so dry. Okay. So going in with the Norvinas, this is the Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2, and I got this off of the BoxyCharm drop shop. This is what the color story looks like. Now, it is so pretty and so fun and kind of funky looking. I love that everything is a little bit desaturated. It's so interesting to me. And I can see how you could kind of look at this and really not know what to do with it, because it does seem like a fairly random kind of assortment of colors. But once you dig into this palette and really kind of just play with everything and just kind of start sticking stuff on the eye, it really does start to make sense. Oh, before we start the eye look, I have got to show you guys these nails. So of course I did my nails on Sunday, and I went for something a little bit Sean, he was like, Mama, paint your nails pink. I asked him to pick my nail color for me, and he picked pink. And I didn't want to go with anything like super bold or anything, because I've been doing really bold nails. So I was looking through my nail polish collection, and I landed on this one. Now this is the Sally Hensen Insta-dry nail polish, but this is in the shade Instant Coffee, 138 Instant Coffee. It is the most beautiful pale nude pink color. It's gorgeous. It goes on, it's not streaky, it dries insanely quickly. But I enjoy a little bit of sparkle. And I don't know about you guys, but I have the hardest time, especially when I want to do like a light pink sparkly nail. I have the hardest time finding a glitter polish that goes on and isn't like too dark and looks weird on the light pink polish, or isn't too chunky. This is absolutely perfect. It is the most perfect pink sparkly like top coat ever. This is the Sinful Colors Bold Colors nail polish in the shade Pinky Glitter. I guess that's pretty self-explanatory, but it's Pinky Glitter shade 830. It is the absolute most gorgeous, soft, iridescent pink glitter. Oh, it is absolutely perfect. My nails turned out exactly the way that I wanted them to today. I think they look classy and timeless, but there's that little bit of extra sparkle and shine that I really, really enjoy. So I had to tell you guys about this nail combo, because if you like a light, soft, kind of like timeless pink nail, this is perfect. So again, that was the Sally Hensen Insta-dry in Instant Coffee, and then the Sinful Colors in Pinky Glitter. Oh, a match made in heaven. So, so good. I will, of course, put everything that I talk about in today's video in the description box below. And if you guys just have any questions, all you gotta do is shoot me a comment and I will get back to you. So getting back into the new makeup. So we're gonna go in. I already have my eyes primed. We are on a new bottle of eyeshadow primer. We're using the Milani eyeshadow primer now. This is really, really good. It is a fantastic eyeshadow primer. It doesn't really have a lot of coverage, just the sheerest amount of coverage, but it goes on, it mattifies, it leaves just that little bit of grip on the eyelid without being too sticky. So, so good. I love this stuff. It is a winner for sure. We're going to go in with one of the Revolution X Beetlejuice brushes. This is just an eyeshadow brush. It's just a flat, fluffy eyeshadow brush. And we're going to go into this really gorgeous pistachio green first. And we're going to take this. I want to show you guys how fantastic this pistachio color is. I'm going to take this on the inner portion of my transition. It is... Can you guys see how gorgeous that is? I will say that these shadows are pressed really, really softly, so there is absolutely no reason to go digging into these pans. A soft tap into the pan will get you all the pigmentation that you need, but there is just something about that gorgeous color that just, if I could paint my body this color, I would do it in a heartbeat. It is stunning. It is completely and totally saturated. It's pigmented and bright without being, but while still being pastel. You can definitely tell there is a white base there, but it is just so incredibly beautiful. And then, of course, because it's a pastel color, it blends absolutely effortlessly. I am so, so in love with it. It is gorgeous, gorgeous. So we're going to go into something a little bit deeper now. I want to go into this deep fuchsia shade. I don't believe that they have names, but so this is right here. So this is the shade C3. So we have A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. So A, B, C. So this is, I guess, C1, I guess. But we're going to go into this one right here, just on the same brush. And I'm going to bring that on the outer portion. Not being super precise with this. I do want to keep this upper line pretty clean, but other than that, I'm just getting the color on there. Are you guys getting ready for Thanksgiving? I just got off the phone with my dad. I've been trying to get a hold of that man for days. He went to the doctor on Friday. If you guys haven't been watching my videos, my dad actually just got diagnosed with multiple forms of cancer, so it's been really, really rough around here. Add on top of that the fact that I hadn't been talking to them for a very long time, so it just kind of like it's a lot. So I've been trying to get a hold of my dad to find out what the doctor said. He doesn't have his test results yet, so we're not sure. But I did find out because we're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving together this year. And I'm trying to figure out like what's going on, like who is cooking, who's bringing what. I got very, very used to hosting Thanksgiving over the last couple of years. And now they want to have it at my parents' home, which is completely fine. I am all for that. But I just don't want to make it too much work for my mom. So I'm trying to figure out who is cooking, who is paying for the food. And then I get on the phone with my dad today and he tells me that all of our extended family is coming, which is so insane because I literally haven't seen most of them in, I want to say, like 20 years. It's been a really, really, really long time. So finding out that they're coming down or coming up was super, super surprising. But on top of that, I'm like, well, okay, that's great. And I am, of course, excited, but how are we going to feed everybody? Like, what is the food situation? You know, and Thanksgiving dinner is, you know, not cheap. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm just trying to figure out who is supposed to be contributing what and like who's buying the turkey, who's cooking. Are we all just going to cook a little bit of something and bring it? Like, are we going to do it potluck style? Anyway, none of my questions were answered today because my mother wasn't home and my dad has absolutely no idea about any of that stuff. Figures, you know, right? But I'm hoping that my mom calls me back sometime very, very soon because I really need to know like what's going on because I need to start picking up like a turkey and all of that good stuff, trying to get stuff squared away, get a plan and a dinner menu made. All that good stuff. So I've blended that really gorgeous pistachio and that deep fuchsia together. They actually, because again, it is a pastel green, they blend together absolutely beautifully and pretty effortlessly as well. I'm just taking both colors using the same brush and dipping back and forth into each shade and just kind of deepening and darkening things up until I'm happy with the blend. I think when it comes to eyeshadow, 9 times out of 10, it's just you sitting here kind of fiddling with stuff until you're happy with the way that it looks. And I think that's one of my favorite things about makeup, is it is completely up to you. There is, of course, like makeup theory and things like that. But when it really gets down to it, I don't do my makeup for anybody but myself. So as long as my makeup makes me happy, that's really all I'm worried about. And this green, this pistachio green, just really, really, really makes me happy. I think it is so pretty. Now, the blend is not absolutely perfect, and it never looks quite as blended on my camera as it does in real life, but I do like the way that that lighter kind of pastel color fades into that darker, deeper, more vivid kind of fuchsia. I think it's very visually interesting and almost a little bit arresting as well, especially when we put those really light pastels on the lid. It's just going to be a super, super interesting kind of eye look. We're going to do a little bit of a cut crease now, and I'm going to use the same concealer that I always use. I am going to use my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This one is in the shade Fair Rose. I'm going to take just a little bit of it on the back of my hand. I don't need that much. On the back of my hand, and then use my Dew Color concealer brush, my dirty Dew Color concealer brush, and start cutting my crease. What do you guys though? Like, Thanksgiving is one of those things. I'm already getting ready for Christmas. I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving. This is my time of the year. It's my absolute favorite. God, I just love everything, right? I know everything is exciting and I always get so excited about everything. I think I like change. I love change. I love going through the seasons. I love getting ready for the holidays. The holidays is my absolute favorite. I love, love, love giving. I love gift giving. I love the thought that goes into it. I love the wrapping presents, and I love the whole bit, right? I love all of it. So Thanksgiving leading up into Christmas is when I go into like overdrive. I go into hunt mode, and I start hunting for the absolute best deals. I try to start figuring out what everybody wants for Christmas. I try to be one step ahead of everybody when it comes to gift giving. Because I really want, like, for me, the whole point of gift giving is to make someone feel special and to make someone feel loved and appreciated. And a lot of times, you know, especially with like family and stuff, a lot of times it's really easy to be super exasperated all the time, and it's really easy to get caught up in everyday life, and it's really easy to be just kind of like irritated all the time and things like that. But when it comes to Christmas and things like that, I take it as my chance to really show how I feel about you, right? How I feel about a person. And the way that I do that, because I'm not great with words. I'm really not great at like, I'll give you hugs and tell you I love you and all that stuff, but it's just, I don't know. There's something about a gift, right? There's something about giving someone something that you put so much thought and time and effort into, and giving them that beautifully wrapped package that just kind of screams, I love you, you know? So, and as Sean gets older, it gets harder and harder to kind of recapture that magic every year, especially with Sean. Just because, you know, the gift giving for him gets a little bit more complicated as time goes on. As children get older, gift giving gets more complicated anyway. But whereas I used to could just put about anything under the tree, put it in, you know, wrap it in some pretty wrapping paper and put a nice big bow on it, and he would be stoked. I think they just get harder and harder to impress as time goes by. And on top of that, I don't want him to be materialistic, right? I don't want him to sit there and only care about how many presents are under the tree, and I don't want him to get caught up in the give me. You know what I mean? I can't stand that. So I have to walk that line between giving and creating the magic, while also still not, I don't want to turn him into like a materialistic monster, right? So last year I settled on, we got him a hoverboard and a cell phone, and those were his two big gifts, and that's pretty much how I do it. He always gets a stocking. That was a big tradition in my house when we were growing up. We always opened a pair of pajamas on Christmas Eve, and then at night, Christmas Eve, my mom would make us stockings, and she would do the most amazing stockings. She would put all kinds of toys and candy and just the most amazing stuff in our stockings, and she would hide them for us, right? And then Christmas morning would come, and of course kids are always so super excited. Let's, you know, get up, open the presents, let's start. Christmas Santa came, right? But my mom, she was a smart cookie, so she would make our stockings, and she would make them so exciting that we were more excited about the stockings than we were the presents, right? I mean, super excited about both, but so excited about the stockings. And then she would hide them. And of course, you know, parents, you stay up all night Christmas Eve, wrapping presents and getting them under the tree and putting bikes together and all of that good stuff, right? Starting Christmas dinner, all that good stuff. So she was smart. She would make us our stockings, and then that would occupy us the entirety of Christmas morning, so that her and my dad could get some sleep while we were playing with our stockings, and we wouldn't just barge in there right away and want to open the presents under the tree because we had our stockings to play with. And that is one of those things that I have very, very definitely kept alive with my son's Christmas. So I always go all out with his stocking. And I think part of the joy in it for me as well is as he gets older, it becomes a little bit more difficult to kind of find things that are going to excite him and, you know, to put in his Christmas stocking. I don't know. I just love it. I love it so much. And then you try to find the coolest stuff that you can for the lowest price that you can. It's just, for me, it is so very much fun. So I just did a little bit of a cut crease action and then faded it out towards the outer edge of my eye. So I don't want to do something super sharp and cut, so I'm not going to go in and I'm not going to clean it up with a Q-tip today. I'm going to let it kind of like fade out, and I think that kind of lends to this look as well. So you've got the really beautiful kind of contrast between that dark vivid purple on the outer corner, and then you've got all these cool pastels, and then you've got that bright pop of orange on the lid, and nothing sharp. Everything is very soft and rounded. It just looks so cool. So I'm going to take this another flat fluffy kind of eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to take it into the deepest shade of orange in the Anastasia palette, or the Norvina palette, and I'm just going to start by packing this right onto the very center of my lid. I'm not taking it super high, and I'm not taking it very far out. Just kind of right in the very center. Think of like a reverse spotlight. Taking it into my inner corner, just a touch, keeping most of that pigment right there in the center. And then as I get on the outer edges, I'm just going to start swirling my brush a little bit to start softening those edges and kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? And kind of start flaring it out a little bit. And then I'm going to dip into this lighter orange now. So I'm going to mix just a bit of that dark orange with just a little bit of that more pastel orange. And I'm going to pat this around that outer perimeter. Now I don't want to take this orange any higher than my natural crease. I'm just using this to create a little bit of a gradient, so that way that deeper orange moves into the yellow that we're going to use just a little bit more smoothly. Just like that. I'm going to take the same brush. I'm going to wipe a little bit of that pigment off on my towel. Get most of that orange pigment off. And then we're going to go into this absolutely stunning bright pastel, like baby duck yellow. So this one right here, this yellow, like it really surprised me. I am so blown away by the quality of the shadows in this little palette. I was expecting that it was going to be good, but I was not, however, expecting it to be quite as fantastic as it actually is. Do you see how beautifully pigmented? Like, it's still a pastel yellow. It is not a is yellow a primary color? Yeah, it is not a primary yellow. It is still baby duck soft pastel yellow, but it manages to hold its own even against that green, even against the orange. It is definitely there, and I think that's what impressed me the most about this shadow, is because it's holding its own against those deeper colors. And I'm just taking that yellow and kind of swirling it around the border of the orange that we used, just kind of melting everything in together, and again essentially creating a reverse spotlight where it's darker in the center and then fades out later. And I think it is so pretty. Just taking this out to the very edge of the concealer, making sure I bring it all the way up to that line, just like this. Now, if you have smaller eyes, you can definitely take a smaller brush. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I washed my brushes the other day and moved everything around. So this one's a perfect one. This is the e.l.f. eye crease brush. It is a it's perfect for this application. It is a teeny tiny fluffy blender. We can dip a little bit into that yellow, and then really get into the inner corner with that. Bring that up along the line. And then, of course, if you think you've dimmed down your orange too much, you can go back in with just a little touch. I'm going to go ahead and mix both of those oranges together again, just a little bit into the dark and a little bit into the light, and kind of go around the perimeter of that. We really want it to, like, we really want a gradient here. A gradient is super, super important, or else it's going to look chunky and not as like blendy and faded and almost psychedelic as we want it to. So really make sure that you're blurring the lines of that orange and don't have any harsh edges. But these eyeshadows are such great quality, and we're dealing with pastels anyway, and pastels blend so beautifully regardless. It's not going to be a difficult blend at all. And then when you're done, you're left with this really beautiful, very muted, kind of almost tie-dye psychedelic effect on the eye that is so incredibly interesting. I am so in love with it. I think it is so pretty. You definitely could take something and kind of trace that line of your cut crease, maybe do a little bit of glitter or something like that. But I really want to keep this a mostly matte kind of eye look. So the only shimmer I'm really going to do, I'm going to take my AOA pencil brush. This is my AOA E124. I'm going to go into this gorgeous minty shimmer. I'm going to put just a touch of this on my inner corner, bringing it up just a little bit onto the very inner portion of my eyelid. I'm also going to put just a little bit of this right up here on my brow bone. You definitely could skip this step as well if you're not into a brow bone highlight. I'm also going to bring it in a little bit further than I usually do. I'm going to kind of connect it to that pistachio, just a touch, just so that everything seems very connected and like everything really flows. And then I'm going to take a black eyeliner. This is just my e.l.f. No Budge retractable eyeliner in the shade Black, and I'm going to trace my upper waterline. And the only reason I'm doing this is I want to give my eye a little bit of definition, because we have so many light colored pastels on. I don't want my eyes and my eye color to get lost in those light kind of dreamy colors. So I really want to outline my eye, really define that, so that my eye kind of contrasts against that deep dark black liner. I'm going to line both upper and lower water lines, but I'm going to line my lower waterline very lightly. I usually go pretty heavy down there. I'm going to do a very light layer, and then we're going to go into this. So this again is the NYX Epic Smoke Liner. This is in the shade Fired Up. It's really beautiful, kind of soft orange color. That's what she looks like. It is a very soft pencil. It's pretty much the same thing as the Epic Wear Liner 6, but instead of it just being a classic rounded pencil shape, this one looks more of like a diamond. Let's see if you guys can see that. It has more of a diamond shape to it. And it's kind of like a softer formulation. So I'm just going to take this along the lower lash line, just like that. Not doing anything heavy. You don't have to put barely any pressure on this, because again, the pencil is so soft. And then I'm going to take my e.l.f. smudge brush, just a clean e.l.f. smudge brush, and I'm just going to soften this line just a touch so that it fades away. And then I'm going to go back into my Norvina And I'm going to go into the only neutral shade in this palette. Well, I guess these two are neutral. I'm going to go into this kind of, it looks like a very warm kind of chocolatey brown. Take the smallest amount of that on my e.l.f. smudge brush and kind of underline that just a touch. And I think that little bit of neutrality on the lower lash line really helps to ground the eye look. But you could, again, of course, not do that. You could put orange down there. You could continue the green down there, and that would be beautiful. You could do whatever you wanted to. I'm just doing the brown because I think it grounds it a little bit more. I have had this eye look on for, I want to say, a couple hours now, and that brown did fade quite a bit on the lower lash line, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if it's because this Epic Wear liner stick is not quite as epic as the other liners are and doesn't stick around. It could also be that my eyes are super, super watery today, and it just kind of washed away. We'll go on, I'll tell you what, we'll go on the other eye. We'll take the same smudge brush, but let's take a little bit of that green and put that along the lower lash line and kind of see, maybe we should put a little bit of this deeper green down there. And maybe that would be pretty. Just very, very lightly, because it is a very, very deep green. I think the green is super, super pretty too. So you could definitely go in with a green if you didn't want to use the brown and you wanted to keep it colorful. Honestly, I like the green better than the brown, so I'll go ahead and change this as soon as we get done. But yeah, I like that deep green better than I like the brown. That is super, super cute. So there's two variations, and you can tell that lower lash line really changes the whole vibe of the eye. I think the green makes a big, big difference. Whereas the green on the lower lash line really just kind of hammers home color. I think the brown kind of grounds this and makes it more of like a little bit neutral and maybe even a little bit more wearable. So it's definitely up to you, whichever you prefer. I do want to try out this, this kind of stick real quick. I want to show you what this Puff Puff primer does really quickly. So this is the e.l.f. Puff Puff primer. It says hemp-derived cannabis sativa, a nourishing face primer that helps prep your skin for makeup. So this is fantastic. Okay, so I just take a pump of it and I just kind of smooth it on to my skin. It feels like a really beautiful lotion. It doesn't really smell anything. It's pretty much fragrance free, but it goes on. Ooh, allergies. But it goes on and you can instantly feel it kind of smoothing over everything. It's got a hydrating feeling to it, but it also has a little bit of something extra in there. I don't know if it's like a silicone. It's probably a silicone because it goes on. It leaves you with this really beautiful kind of almost glass-like finish. But it is so pore smoothing. Like it goes in and it blurs all the pores, but it doesn't feel heavy. It sets down completely on the skin and it leaves you with just this little bit of tack that I find really helps my makeup to adhere to my face, especially on my nose. It really helps my makeup to cling to my nose. I know that they have a one of the dupes for the Milk Hydro Grip primer, but I'm just not a big fan of that texture. I feel like it's sticky. It reminds me very much, you know, of those like super cheap peel off face masks. It feels like you're putting glue on your face. That's what it feels like for me, and it's just not my favorite sensor, like I don't like the way that it feels. This, however, does pretty much the same thing without that kind of super sticky glue feeling. I want to take a little bit of one of these crayons though. Let's go in with the lighter one first. This is the L'Oreal Super Blendable Concealing Correcting Concealer in the shade Peach. And I want to take just a little bit under my eyes. It is super, super creamy. I'm not even dragging it across my skin. I'm just kind of tapping it along where my dark shadows are, my dark circles are. And it's just basically doing the work for me. But I do notice that when I do a deeper kind of eye look, especially when I use blacks or blues, it tends to make my dark circles stand out even more. I guess kind of because it pulls the blue out of my dark circles and just makes them look so bad. So I've been looking for a really, really affordable color corrector. You guys already know that I absolutely adore my, let me see if I can get it out. I absolutely adore my Believe Beauty. This is my Believe Beauty Brighten Up Color Correcting Concealer in the shade Light Medium. This is absolutely fantastic, but it does crease under my eyes if I don't set it. And I was looking for something that I could just wear, like maybe on a no makeup day, or a day where I just wanted to do really, really light makeup, that I didn't have to set with a bunch of powder, or you know what I mean? That would kind of go on and help to even out and kind of brighten up my under eyes without looking too heavy. And I think that looks fantastic. I think it pretty much got rid of them. I'm gonna put just a little bit more right here. But that is beautiful. Blends out absolutely effortlessly. I think what I'm going to do is use a brush on this side, just in case you prefer using a brush to blend out your concealer, and see how it works with a brush. Blends out beautifully with a brush as well. Guys, that's stunning. Really, really beautiful. Guys, we're at 36 minutes. I don't think I'm going to have time to do my foundation today, but I really do hope that you enjoyed today's video. Guys, as always, I will list everything that I talked about in today's video in the description box below. No filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. Y'all, it's just me sitting in front of my camera playing with some makeup, hoping y'all are enjoying what I'm doing. Guys, please let me know what you're doing for Thanksgiving. I am also like desperately looking for something new to make for Thanksgiving, like a new side dish, something that I haven't made before. So I would love any and all suggestions for like really amazing Thanksgiving side dishes. I really want to try something new this year. So please let me know. I would appreciate that so very much. Please don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up before you leave. And as always, guys, I love you so very much. Please, 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 until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.